Hi there, Aquarius, and anybody else tuning in. Welcome. We're here for you. This is your reading for May 2021. Very exciting. Well, it's on and off is what I'm hearing in terms of how you maybe are perceived in this space, but I'm seeing that as that's not a bad thing. Aquarius is what I'm hearing. Actually, it's in the end, I'm hearing a good thing. I'm hearing this specifically, like for a number of you, you're really actually possibly in a very controversial space this month in whatever way that might be meant for you, or others, and maybe it's not inherently controversial, but it becomes controversial because of the way that you behave in this space is what I'm hearing. So the actions that you take on, Aquarius, at this time, yeah, it's the second time I saw the High Priestess. I was like, all right, well, we'll shove her back in. Let's see if she comes back out. We'll see what that's about. It's just outside the Daughter Cups. Sun Cups just fell out of the main stack. Aquarius, the actions you're taking on, I'm hearing they're brave. I'm hearing that as well. I'm hearing finally, third time the High Priestess has split to the deck. Aquarius, now let's get into it. This is, again, your May 2021 reading. And, of course, energy is fluid. Time and space are really, they are an illusion. The fourth time? Okay, Aquarius, no, I'm telling you. And you have the Devil mirror in that. Oh, so you're retested in this month as well. You up. Well, okay, what's that explained? It's time. The sun is upright. Yes. You know what you're doing. I'm hearing that as well, Aquarius. Okay, maybe that's what's triggering people. That's what's throwing them off, because it's like, wait a second. Specifically the Death card in reverse. Yeah, somebody dealing with so who's that? I'm hearing, at this point, that's what it is. Wait, I'm sorry. So who's that? I'm saying someone's eating like a crumbly muffin. They're like, I'm so sorry. Wait, let's clear. Yeah, no, this can also be on a metaphorical level, right? Life is not always just in 3D. It's, what is life? That really you have to question. So somebody maybe is just realizing that something is irrelevant, or now it's irrelevant. Death card in reverse, Hypers right? Mother Cups leads you out. But from the perspective of what you've released in relation to the past. So for a number of you, you're looking at your present not in relation to like the present moment and therefore the future. It's like, no, I'm looking at the vantage point of the past and what has led me to the point of realizing that time actually doesn't really exist, and it's what I do with so-called time when it comes to, I'm hearing also the past, what I need to release. In other words, this is for a number of you, tower, what I need to release, what do I need to realize, what do I need to also reckon, I'm hearing is not appropriate. I'm hearing that like maybe you're calling something out, Aquarius. Let's clear. Oh yeah, big time for a number of you, and whatever you're calling out is controversial, but it's necessary, is what I'm hearing. Five of Wands upright. Yeah, that was a silly little situation going on. Okay, yeah, it was a silly little situation. Silly. Okay, no, yeah, yeah. And the next time we say it, we're gonna erase situation. We're just gonna keep it as silly. Yeah, because it's not really anything anymore. I'm hearing that Father shows up right. Like, if anything, this was a test for a number of you. Someone was tested here. Somebody was tested, and they were actualized in that act. Wow. So let's say it like this: someone has brought themselves forward. Their true character was revealed. I'm hearing honor. I'm a man of honor. I'm hearing that Father shows up right. Death in reverse, High Priestess. I'm hearing your name doesn't mean anything. I'm hearing, and neither does the lies you tell. Your lies don't trump truth. I'm hearing that with Temperance and the Sun. When you have the Temperance card looking at the Father of Swords, the spoken word is irrelevant. It's the ethic that is recognized in relation to what is spoken out. For a number of you with the Sun and the Judgment card at the base of that Temperance card, lies do not stand a single damn chance against what we know to be the single born truth. I'm hearing that with the Temperance card. Like, in other words, you got the Justice card here as well. Oh god, yeah, the Chariot. Like, we know who I'm hearing who we are, and that's the important thing, right? So if somebody was trying to play games and make you feel like, oh my god, you're like this and that, you know who you are, you know what you are, you know where you go, you know what you do and don't do. You don't need to also receive validation from other people in the environment to make you feel like you know what you're doing and that you know who you are. That's not, let's say even if somebody were to so-called do that, if they gave you some sort of validation confirmation, what would they be confirming? What they know to be their truth? That's not your truth. So yeah, in other words, like, you know who is real to you. I'm hearing that as well. And maybe you're aligning with different forces here at this time, Aquarius. Maybe, they give you a crosswatcher as well. You don't have to be a sun sign Aquarius. Oh god. Everybody has Aquarius in their chart. Like, you know what I'm saying? Let's get down to it. We all are working with this frequency. We're all working with this energy, just in our own ways. But for a number of you with the Mother Cups upright, yeah, it's very interesting because, you are understanding who also holds the same value as you. And for a number of you, I'm saying maybe you actually tested somebody. Yep. You gave them your hand. in truth. You gave them your honor. I'm hearing your honor. You kind of put something in someone's hands in a certain way, Aquarius, and you realize like what they did with it. And at this point, there's no remastering the DJ move there. Okay, no, we're not. It's not like, oh, but the DJ was the DJ and like he didn't really know what he was doing. He knew what he was doing. He made that executive decision to move the music in that way, and now we have a whole new record that we want to play out, and it's our sovereign sort of spoken storyline I'm hearing in this. When I'm Aquarius, I'm seeing you talking to somebody like, you're not going to talk to me like that. I'm hearing that as well. Maybe someone was like trying to say something, but like even, you know, in a way where you couldn't recognize it for what it was. You recognize what it is, and you recognize it not for what it is, but what it's not. I'm hearing in relation to you and your personal story, your value, Aquarius. This is something that you needed to say for a long time. With the Mother Cups upright, and maybe there's just like, well, let me see it like from this angle. I think it's an apple. Let me just sort of turn around and walk around and make sure it's an apple. It's an apple. You knew it was an apple, and it's now it's freaking an apple. You know, we don't really have anything else to say about it. I'm hearing that Three Swords in reverse, especially to ourselves at this point. Renee, you're not wasting your breath on this anymore. Yeah, no, you're really not, Aquarius. It's not worth it for you. It's just not worth it for you. Chariot upright, and you're putting yourself first here is what I'm hearing as well. Renee, if you're a teacher, you're letting the students run all over the room with their markers. Okay, no more of that. No more. Yeah, no more. I'm hearing you're going to have to sit down and learn your lessons on your own. I'm not here to teach you them. I'm hearing that as well. Very interesting. The so-called teacher is not here to teach you the lessons. You as the student must observe as well where it is that the teacher, I'm hearing, would have been, should they have taught you the lesson. So in other words, you have to be your own teacher. You do. Okay, you know, you cannot have, like, the teacher do the test for you as well. That's not appropriate. I'm hearing the Mother Cups upright. Like, someone's realizing something is, I don't want to say, like, it was useless or pointless, but it was used for malintent, and it wasn't where they saw the story going. So, for now, you're standing up against something ridiculous. I'm hearing Regis. I'm hearing register. No, re-register me. I don't want to be a part of this group. I'm hearing that as well. Hangman upright, Hermiter. I don't want to be a part of him and his whole little tagline shit. I'm hearing that as well. Ooh, doobity-doo, doobity-dum. I'm hearing tummy troubles. Ooh, sorry, I can't today. Yeah, we're going to talk to your story, but like, over there, I'm hearing as like an ought to, shoulda, woulda, coulda situation. I'm hearing, but if only it had been honest with us. I'm hearing from the get-go, like, you're not feeling bad, Aquarius. You're not feeling bad about, oh my God, I feel bad, like I would, you know, it's not an ideal situation. It's this is the situation, and this is how I want to handle it. So for a number of you, this was something that you gave, like, even chances to, chance after chance after chance. I'm hearing, honey, I need more honey, money, honey. I'm hearing that with the Hangman and the Hermit. Somebody was draining someone. Like, lifetime to lifetime. Yeah, it's not a, oops, Sunday, precedes Saturday. We have a situation on our hands. This is, you saw me, I saw you. Last summer of, yeah, you know, and I don't even, we're not talking about time here, we're talking about energy, and we are recognizing the energetic pattern as it has been with the Hangman upright and the Hermit in reverse. Something has been unfair. It's been completely, I'm hearing, misguided. I'm hearing that as well. Maybe as someone feels it with themselves, they're like, oh, I obviously played a role in this. I allowed that frequency into my orbit. That's my problem. I'm hearing that the Hangman. So me dealing with someone who's incredibly manipulative. And they, yeah, but for whenever you do realize, hey, look, I, like, participate in that. I allowed that cycle to continue. Okay, so for whenever this is so much a matter of you defining what it is that your story is, so that the lies in relation to that space can be more clearly observed. In other words, like, if you have no point of reference here where you say, well, this is who I am, and these are my standards, this is what I want, and this is not negotiable, okay? You know when something comes in that doesn't resonate with that. Some of you maybe were in a situation where you just had way too much quote-unquote love for someone, and that trumped your ability to see through their story. Wow. But I do see that you saw it, Leo. I'm hearing with Leo, like, I'm seeing two people looking into space, but it was, yeah, the sun right over the Hangman, but it was a matter of what you did with it. I'm hearing that ultimately, and I'm seeing maybe you took time to take action. No more. No. I'm hearing you take a bite out of, like, a cupcake, and you're like, ew, it's not sweet even. Okay, like, it's not even like, oh, at least it's sugar. It's not sugar, it's sweet, it's bitter. I'm hearing that with the Hangman upright and the sun upright. Yeah, that fruit is also not ready to fall off the tree, like, obviously, and I'm not gonna be here, like, sitting here trying to eat it, like, so for a number of you, you're clearing something out, and it is maybe something in your, yeah, it's like, I don't even need to talk to myself like that. I'm hearing that with the Sun of Cups upright. you're realizing that something was lurking, and it was in the back of your mind. You're like, you're irrelevant now. I'm hearing that as well. Like, and it could be a self-talk space. You lead out with the Fool. Aquarius, congratulations. Enjoy May. You are a star in your own life, and that's the important thing here. You don't stop for anyone on the path to your horizon that you observe as the point of potential for you to create towards. I'm saying you looking at something, and so, you don't need to explain as well why you take the moves that you do on. This is you, I'm here, Aquarius, and your story, I'm hearing that you bring to life. And for a number of you, it comes down to your responsibility. It comes down to saying, hey, I believe in this. And for a number of you, it's for also a community that you want to maybe even build. It's very exciting. It's something that maybe you realize, you know what? I have to bring this to the table, and it's a frequency ultimately as well. It's like saying, hey, the actions that I take on in this way build a certain frequency and repertoire for me on an energetic level with myself, where I say, I am not open to that anymore. With a Fool upright in the Sun of Cups. Some of you dealing with somebody who was incredibly freaking manipulative, and that energy was living on and through in ways that you were maybe at a certain point, again, I'm saying you're new, but you didn't put down as like on paper and bound, like as part of the story. Okay, but it was a character, and you knew it was a character. So for now, let's clear. You're creating room for movement forward and motion of growth. I'm hearing growth in the direction that you see yourself moving in. So you're getting more personal as well with yourself, is what I'm hearing with the Fool upright. And alas, it is your own card, the major card, but with the Sun of Cups up as well, you're identifying who is really with you on that journey, who really wants you to succeed, and who is there to throw a wrench in your story and make you feel like you don't know it the way that you do. So, it's an ironic storyline, I'm hearing, at the end of the day. And maybe, you laugh at yourself here and there. You say, well, man, like, I kind of capacitated that. I kind of opened that, that storefront. I'm hearing to have happen in that way. I in a way played in that part too, be it a point of reflection with the shadow space, right? But we do realize that at a certain point that we can't be scared, I'm hearing that as well, of where we stare off into the distance of our dream. I'm hearing to come alive once again. Bye, Aquarius. Thank you for tuning in. Enjoy this month. You're dealing with people who unfortunately possibly also are jealous of you and your journey, and it could be an opposite sex, right? It doesn't have to be, a guy is jealous of a girl, or a guy is jealous of a guy and her boyfriend, I'm hearing that as well, or vice versa. It's like, it doesn't have to be like also sexually, it can be in terms of success. And for a number of you, that's just a reflection point for themselves with themselves. If somebody cannot handle, the vibration of empowerment that somebody holds with themselves, that's very telling when it comes to their connection with themselves. And that doesn't have to be your problem, Aquarius. You don't need to allow that story to play out in your own. Thank you for tuning in.